ahead on Q2 on the loose and on alert.
Life is short, you only live once, and you never know when someone like that will just pop up out of nowhere, even in places like this where it never happens.
As the manhunt continues in Anaconda, concerns remain on high, with residents fearing what's next. Plus, raking in the money.
It's all about facilities.
Billings looking for a big economic boost as several sports tournaments make their way to town. The MTN 4:30 news starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Andrea Lutz. The search for a suspected mass murderer in Anaconda is now 4 days in the making. Hundreds of law enforcement officers from across Montana remain on scene, all searching for 45-year-old Michael Brown. Brown is accused of walking into the Owl Bar on Friday, shooting and killing 3 customers and a bartender. Tony Palm, David Leach, Nancy Kelly, and Daniel Bailey all died in the crime. Right now, most of the search efforts are focused in the mountains near Stumptown Road, just west of Anaconda. Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen said yesterday they believe Brown is still alive and are offering a $7,500 reward for information leading to his capture. There's a tip line also. It's right there on your screen, 1-877-WANTED-2. As the situation continues to unfold, many residents in the area have been living with a sense of fear over the last few days. With more on that and how the community continues to stay on high alert tonight, here's MTN's John Amy.
With the manhunt continuing for the person suspected of fatally shooting 4 people in a local bar, naturally, people in the small town of Anaconda are concerned for their safety. In fact, one local pawn shop said they had a few people come in immediately after the shooting, looking for firearms like this that they could easily carry for personal protection.
It's a nice little something you can just throw in your waistband or tuck in your pocket that you're not going to be too worried about.
The owner of Anaconda Pawns said about 3 or 4 people purchased handguns from his store the same day a man entered the Owl Bar and shot and killed 4 people. He believes the shooting motivated the purchases.
The vibe off the people that came in was, all right, well, I got the one I keep in the truck, but what if I'm somewhere and something like this happens again? I'd rather have one on me.
Investigators are searching for Michael Brown, whom they suspect killed a bartender and 3 patrons in the bar the morning of August 1st and has been hiding out in a wooded area west of town. Some residents believe it's better to carry a gun and not need it than to not have a gun and need it.
Life is short, you only live once, and you never know when someone like that will just pop up out of nowhere, even in places like this where it never happens.
Joe Kovacic stopped in the pawn shop recently, but not to purchase a gun. He just wanted to pawn his chainsaw.
I don't have a gun. I'm 77. If it's my time to go, I'm ready to go.
All agree the recent shooting is a tragedy for this small community.
We had a group of customers that came in that day, and it was too bad he didn't walk in somewhere like this where we have the means to defend ourselves. And that's kind of where we're at, is we just want to see justice.
In Anaconda, John Amy, MTN News.
A deadly gun deal gone wrong, and now a Billings teen will spend most of his life behind bars. Corey Daniel Wolfname, just 15 at the time, is sentenced to 60 years for a Southside shooting that killed another teen. Wolfname was part of a group who met in a Billings alley last November to exchange $500 for a stolen handgun. That's when gunfire broke out. 17-year-old Vidal Yellowrobe was shot and killed. Another teen, Ruben Tosi, is serving 65 years, and a third suspect still faces charges. There is plenty to be excited about if you're a sports fan in Billings. These next couple of weeks, big events will be making their way to town. But it isn't just the competition that will be boosting in the community. These big events can mean big business for local stores as well. For a look at what's to come and what it can mean for the local economy, here's Charlie Kleps.
They may be empty now.
Done. Ethan Reisdorfer hammers.
But come Wednesday, these seats at Dealer Park will be packed once again as the Legion Regional Tournament returns to town.
In the summer in Billings, baseball and softball are huge money makers.
And the event will bring in more than just competition to the Magic City.
It means hundreds of hotel rooms. It means, honestly, probably a couple $100,000 that's being influxed into this community.
Visit Billings Sports Tourism Director Casey Conlon predicts that the 5-day tournament will be a huge boost to local businesses.
Wherever an event is being held, you look at the hotels, restaurants, retail in close proximity to that location.
And that isn't the only sporting event likely to make an impact in the next couple of weeks. Right here at Metro Park, Rodeo Billings will be kicking off as part of the Montana Fair, which starts later this week.
And Rodeo Billings coming in and being part of that fair week, I think there's a lot of excitement around it.
And Conlon expects that excitement to turn into more business as well.
With the new arena, with the new branding of Rodeo Billings, with what they're trying to do of getting in a little bit higher caliber of cowboy and cowgirl to participate in that, I think it's going to really show that people are a little bit more excited again.
It's all part of a recent push by the city to become a more desirable sporting event location.
Billings is already a regional hub, but it's trying to become bigger, and it will become bigger over the next 2 years. And it's the facilities that do it.
Conlon says those efforts are already working, and with more upgraded facilities on the way, the future is bright.
Billings is really going to take a step up as far as a regional sports destination, and it's just going to do great things for the community.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Here's a map we've really gotten acquainted with here over the last couple of weeks, showing the green areas, at least some chance of isolated thunderstorms that could be strong to severe, and especially in the yellow shaded areas from Billings to the north and into the eastern plains throughout the evening hours. We're already getting a start on some of that convection, starting to move off the mountains around Red Lodge, Cook City, out towards Columbus, up towards especially Harleton, you and Rygate, maybe Judith Gap. You could feel it. Northern portions of Yellowstone County, maybe the Broadview area outside of Billings. So threat of thunderstorms here in the short term. That will start to move off into the eastern plains, and then we'll see a warm up for a couple of days just before a cool down, and that could come with more rain. Details coming up.
Tonight, the troubles continue for airlines across America. United Flight recently had to declare May Day with 200 people on board, while thousands of flights have been canceled due to extreme weather. It all comes as the NTSB harshly criticizes the FAA for last spring's deadly air crash in Washington, D.C. Patrick Terpstra looks into the state of aviation as the end of summer travel begins.
We're learning more about an unusual flight that took off from Washington Dulles International Airport last month, July 25th. This was United Airlines Flight 108 headed to Munich, Germany. As it was climbing out of Dulles, it had a significant issue, a left engine failure. Inside the cockpit, we have audio from air traffic control where we hear those pilots saying, "Failure, engine failure, left engine, United 108 declaring an emergency, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday." That plane was allowed to, of course, turn around and head back to Dulles, but there was another issue. Because it had been fueled up on its way to Germany, it was too heavy to land safely. So the aircraft had to dump fuel before turning around and landing at Dulles. It landed without incident, but just in case, they did have fire and rescue crews meet the plane, tow it back safely to the gate. Over 200 passengers on board, 11 crew, no injuries in this incident that did raise some eyebrows given the busy travel season, but this one ended without any problems. Patrick Terpstra, Scripps News Group, Washington.
The federal government will stop sending paper checks for Social Security benefits starting September 30th. More than 500,000 recipients must switch to direct deposit or a prepaid debit card. Those who are 90 and older or have mental impairments or live in remote locations can request a waiver. You can do so by directly going to direct.gov. A new poll shows most Americans are feeling stressed about the cost of groceries as prices rise amid President Trump's continued trade war. Ava Joy Burnett reports from the nation's capital on who is impacted the most by rising prices and if the cost of groceries will continue to go up.
Americans are feeling the pinch at the grocery store.
It's depressing and just, I don't know, difficult to wrap your head around about how much you have to spend to make a meal for somebody.
Rose Neighbor House is among those looking for ways to stretch her money when shopping for food.
I always look for bargains. And then if something is on sale, I'll buy that because I know it's on sale. And then if something is just way overpriced, I just do without.
Most Americans say they're stressed about the cost of groceries, with 53% saying it's a major source of stress, according to a new Associated Press NORC poll.
Used to be you go in with $30, you could buy a week's groceries.
A lot of us are on a fixed income, and we can't afford the higher cost of everything.
The price of all food is up 3% from a year ago.
I don't know how much of the ongoing inflation is connected to tariffs, but tariffs are only expected to worsen what we've seen with respect to price increases.
William Ridley is a professor of agricultural economics and says while current price hikes at the grocery store can't solely be tied to President Trump's new tariffs, they could impact many goods in the store.
Fundamentally, tariffs are going to make imported goods more expensive, and a lot of the goods that comprise consumers' budgets, U.S. households' budgets and what they spend money on, things like coffee, things like cooking oil, that sort of stuff, we really anticipate that prices are going to go up in a big way.
Ava Joy Burnett, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Still to come on the MTN 430 News on Q2, from Montana to Ireland, Riggs Johnston feeling the love as he proves himself as one of the best golfers in the world. We'll have that story in just a bit. But first, the threat of thunderstorms is back. Ed has the latest on what we can expect right after the break.